Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Coble, Chair of Intellectual Property and Artificial Intelligence at Rose Law Group. I'm here to talk to you about the hottest topic over the last week, and that's TikTok. Everyone has been asking me whether or not the social media platform is here to stay or whether it's going to be banned in the near future. So here's the deal with TikTok. The issue with TikTok has actually been going on for a number of years. Shortly after the app was released, it became widely known that the TikTok application that users install onto your mobile phones was collecting a lot of data about individual users, not just about their TikTok posts, but also about the user's contacts and even their geolocation as to where the users are when they're using the app and when the app is running in the background, even information about the content of users' emails and other messages sent and received using their phone. So this kind of data in the hands of just about any company is pretty concerning. But what makes it most concerning about TikTok is that TikTok is owned by a company called ByteDance. And ByteDance is a Chinese national company and therefore is subject to the national security laws of China. Some of those national security laws require ByteDance and other Chinese national companies to comply strictly with the requests of the Chinese national government, meaning that not only does TikTok have access to all of this user data, but the national government, the Chinese government, potentially also has access to that data. And the Chinese national government can require TikTok to manipulate their code and do things to their algorithm that can serve up content to US users that is favorable to the Chinese government. So for some time, it has been concerning to many in the US government about this level of data collection that TikTok has been undergoing. So a number of years ago, actually under the first Trump administration, the US government has been trying to get ByteDance to divest at least the US portion of TikTok to a company that is not subject to those national security laws. So President Trump in his first administration issued an executive order that was eventually struck down requiring TikTok to divest. And the US government undertook a series of steps that eventually culminated in legislation that was passed by Congress and signed by President Biden that required TikTok, or rather ByteDance, to divest the US portion of TikTok by a certain within a certain time period. That deadline to divest the US portion of TikTok was set to expire last Sunday evening. So, for the last several months, TikTok has been appealing through the court system to try and get this law stayed while it continues to operate. These efforts eventually culminated in TikTok's appeal to the US Supreme Court, which was heard earlier this month and ruled upon last Friday. In a unanimous opinion, the US Supreme Court upheld the law that would require TikTok's divestiture, citing both the legitimate data collection concerns and the fact that the First Amendment issues were at best temporary because TikTok was not going to be required to shut down the platform completely. It just needed to divest ownership and control to a company that was not subject to the national security laws of China. So, with that background, the US Supreme Court upheld the law, and the ban on certain TikTok services was set to go into effect on Sunday evening. Biden administration came out and said that due to certain logistical issues, all of the enforcement was going to be transferred to the Trump administration, and was not going to take any action under the law during what little time was left in President Biden's term. On Saturday night, however, prior to the ban or the law going into effect, TikTok voluntarily shut down its platform in the United States and put up a message citing the law as the reason for shutting down. However, of course, the law had not gone into effect yet, and this was a voluntary action by TikTok on Saturday night. On Sunday, after purportedly receiving assurances from the incoming Trump administration that TikTok would receive an extension of the deadline to seek divestiture. TikTok voluntarily reopened its platform in the U.S. again prior to the law ever going into effect. So then on Monday, after he was sworn in, President Trump issued an executive order that allotted for an extension of time, either 75 or 90 days, depending on how you look at it, under the law for TikTok to continue to seek an appropriate party to divest its U.S. assets. So where we currently stand is that the law requiring ByteDance to divest the U.S. portion of TikTok is still in effect. TikTok will need to either seek additional extensions of time under the law, or will need to find a way to comply with the divestiture requirements and sell the U.S. portion to a company that is not subject to the national security laws of China. We'll bring you more information as the TikTok saga continues to unfold. Stay tuned to Rose Law Group Reporter for more technology news you can use.